Hey guys, it's Bando and this is Breakfast of Bando. So this is a bit of a different one because it's not Heresy related or even Games Workshop related. I've talked about Bolt Action before, which is a Second World War 28mm skirmish game made by the guys who made 3rd edition 40k. It is one of my preferred games to play. But this isn't even about Bolt Action. This is actually about Warlord Games, the company that makes Bolt Action. So Warlord Games is another Nottingham-based 28mm or around 28mm miniature manufacturing company. They basically have a nasty. They have a habit of buying up smaller ranges of miniature manufacturers and folding them into themselves. They do all manner of historical war games, and they are, I would say, to historical war games what Games Workshop are to wargaming in general. So they are kind of the big dog, but they are tiny compared to Games Workshop in market share. And the reason I'm talking about them is that they have recently been they've posted some news about some of their shareholders, which is Hornby, the people who make model trains. And Hornby have acquired a 25% share, or stake, however you're supposed to say it, in Warlord Games. And they have an option to become a majority shareholder within, I think it's the next 3 years. So what does this mean? Probably not a lot. It could mean an increase in prices, it could mean a lot of things. 25% share in someone for a single owner is quite a large chunk. So if they decide to rock the boat, if they decide to start making trouble, pushing for more profits, then we could see some radical price changes, numbers of models change, the usual. On a side note, the shareholder investor constant drive for increased profits is hands down one of the biggest banes of everything. I despise it. I'm an absolute capitalist. I believe anyone should be able to buy and sell whatever the hell they want, but shareholders pushing for constant growth and profits is just annoying, and it's why we are in the problem we are with Games Workshop. It's where a model set that costs you pennies to make gets sold for £50 to your customers. But why am I bothering with this as a video? Well, I'm a little worried because Hornby, and by extent other bigger investors, getting involved in this hobby, which is something that is happening. I mean, you look at the largest investors in Games Workshop and they are some of the biggest sort of investment banker type companies like BlackRock sort of thing. I think Morgan Stanley's one of them. They own a lot, they push for a lot of profits, and Hornby has a very recent bit of a black mark against them, which is that they had a recent court case where one of their brands, Humbrol, which is a paint brand which some of you, probably many of you in the UK, will be aware of, it was deemed that Humbrol was actually fairly toxic, to the point where it should not have been sold as a paint to children ever. Yet they continued to sell it even while they were in the middle of the court case, where a lot of the evidence had been presented that they had not been truthful and they were going to have to remove it from sale. They didn't even tell their distributors that they were in the middle of this court case. They didn't tell their end customers they were in this court case. So people and businesses were investing in large amounts of Humbrol paint up until the point they were told they weren't allowed to sell it anymore, which I just think is a bit of a scummy move. This is all hearsay. I don't have any of the documents. This was all passed on to me by a distributor of Humbrol and other Hornby equipment. The interesting things you hear when you're standing around at model railway exhibitions talking to retailers. So yeah, it's just an interesting one that, Hornby is quite a big player in modelling in the UK. I think the American equivalent would be Bachmann. And it's interesting to see them coming into this sphere, as it were. I'm hoping this doesn't get involved with other companies. I hope, I like that a lot of miniature companies are smaller, that they are almost family businesses, that they are in, there's a smaller connection between the customer and the manufacturer, and it lets us get, better value for our money, I feel, and lets our voices be heard a bit better. But that's all just me personally. I shall be going to the Romsey Model Show this Sunday, which is a big modelling convention for all sorts of scale models. So hopefully I should get some nice pictures from that for you guys. Other than that, I've been making slow progress on my orcs. If you've not checked him out, go and check out Darren Latham's post on Instagram about the 90s Marine Challenge. That looks rather interesting. He wants everyone to try and paint one of those classic push-fit 90s Space Marines throughout August, which is hilarious because they're already pretty hard to find, and this is just going to drive the price up. So yeah. Okay guys, my name is Bando, this is Brexit Bando. Have a great day.